So you still waiting for them to pick up the fucking phone? You should probably stop calling by now. It's probably not gonna work out. What's going on, everybody? It's the Granddad Wooly, and you are here again for another edition of CD Case Studies. Today, we're going into the book and talking about another one of my favorite MCs of all time, also out of Chicago. It's like fucking Chicago week or some shit. I don't know what the fuck happened, but the shit happened, so go with it. But we're talking about one of the most lyrically talented and destructive MCs of all time. This dude's top 10 when it comes to lyricism to me. Like, this motherfucker's pretty much untouchable on a good goddamn day. I reviewed this track a few weeks ago, and now we back with the case study. We talking about none other than the one, the only, Lupe Fiasco. So we're gonna go up in the book, right here, and talk about some of my favorite albums from Lupe and just tell some cool little stories about the shit and just let y'all know how dope Lupe is to me. So the first album I'm gonna talk about is the first Lupe Fiasco album that I ever bought, and it is his debut album, the one that everybody was hyped for, the one that fucking got leaked and a lot of crazy shit happened at Atlantic and it got pushed back like crazy like hell, but the shit finally dropped on the official tip, and we are talking about none other than the classic itself, Food and Liquor. And this shit dropped officially in 2006, but it was supposed to drop way before that shit, but some shit happened. It got like heavily bootlegged, the shit leaked, some crazy shit happened with Atlantic, and then it just got pushed back and they had to just like find some way to salvage the album. But this album right here is the debut album from Lupe Fiasco, his major label debut, and this right here is a goddamn grade A. I gotta say, it's a goddamn classic to me. This is one of my favorite albums of all time, and when it finally did drop, it was a good goddamn day for me. Now let me tell you a little story time about this shit, y'all. So it was like 2006, yeah, that's when the album dropped, and at the time when the album dropped, I think I was working at Party City, like as a seasonal job. I was like fresh out of like high school. I ain't had no fucking job. I was forced to get a goddamn job because I wasn't going to college yet, so I was like, fuck it, I guess I gotta get a goddamn job. Got a little job at Party City. It was Halloween time, and I remember one day on my break, I went out because I was the Party City I stayed at was like right next to Target, so I ran over the day that Lupe Fiasco dropped on my break, copped this goddamn album, went back to work, and then when I had to go back into work, I had to work in the back that day where I had to go like on the walkie-talkie and the tall ass fucking like, it's the tall ass fucking ladder, you like swing around and grab costumes and then bring it out to the front, but I just had to like bring it out to the door. So I had a little boom box up in there too. Well, the store had a boom box, but like I was the only one that actually fucking used the shit. So I popped in the goddamn Lupe on the second half of my shift and I cranked that shit up. I didn't give a fuck what the rules said. I'm listening to this new goddamn Lupe. And it came in with that long ass intro with the poem, and then it came in with Lupe talking about the whole food and liquor shit, and I was like, this is a long ass 3-minute intro, Lupe, but the beat was dope on there. But then when it went into real, oh my god, my face cringed. I was like, look, I had the ugly face at work so hard. Like, I'm glad nobody was back there because they would have thought I was probably having a seizure or some shit. But that fucking guitar on there, oh my god, that fucking song was fucking crazy. Lupe was killing it on that fucking song. Sarah Green on the hook was up in there. I mean, it was just the perfect way to set off the album, and it just got fucking better from there. It had so many dope tracks on there. Of course, the single Kick Push is where I sort of got, I knew about Lupe because like when I was living in Chicago, Lupe was like, he was like Chicago famous, so I already knew who Lupe was. And actually I heard Kick Push before it actually really blew up. But when I heard, like, it was like an older version of Kick Push, but the newer version with the video and all that shit, like I heard that, that's when I knew that the album was coming, but I was already hyped and a fan of Lupe early on. But there was also tracks like Daydreaming and the instrumental and Hurt Me Soul and Pressure, and this whole goddamn album was fucking crazy. The production on here was crazy. Soundtrack, who was the producer for First and 15th, like he really fucking like shined on this motherfucker, but they also had like, I think production from like the Neptunes was on here. I think Just Blaze did some shit on here. I'm not too sure, it's a long goddamn time. But you know, the producers he got up on here, fucking crazy. He had Jill Scott on here. He had Jay-Z on here, Gemini. Who else was on here? I don't know. Wasn't that many people on here, but Lupe shined on this goddamn album. It's been a hot minute since I heard this shit. I might have to pop this shit in after this shit to just get myself a little food and liquor in the system because it's been a minute. But if you've not heard of Food and Liquor, this is literally Lupe's shining moment. Like for a debut album, you pretty much don't get no goddamn better than this. And like this is a straight up classic. It was well worth the wait. I see why motherfuckers leaked and bootlegged this shit because this shit was fucking crazy. I would have leaked and bootlegged the shit too. This goddamn album's fucking fire as hell, nigga. I wouldn't have waited for shit. Fuck the label, nigga. Goddamn, give it to me now. But yo, Food and Liquor, crazy fucking album. Definitely cop this shit if you don't have it. Next album I'm fucking talking about is the follow-up album that for some reason, like, I don't know how Lupe did it, but he managed to make another album that was just as fucking crazy, dropped it a year later, only a year later. I don't know what the hell, but Lupe, you superhuman, but he came back and he actually made a full album based off of a song off the Food and Liquor album called The Cool and named the album The Cool. It's called The Cool. But the album's cool. It's cool. It's a cool album that's called The Cool. But this shit dropped 2007, and this right here is probably, I mean, if Food and Liquor, like, oh my God, like, I don't know if I like this more than Food and Liquor or Food and Liquor, because it's just so, this album, these two albums are like twins to me, like, because of just how dope it is. I mean, okay, now let me tell you a story about how when I got so hyped about this album. Like, when I first heard Dumb It Down, I saw the video for Dumb It Down. They played it on Rap City, the show, and when I saw that video, when that beat came in, and Lupe came in, and there's the theme of that song, and just like, how fucking, like, intricate the lyricism was, I was like, yo, Lupe is killing it. He was like, yo, I gotta get this album when it comes out. But he dropped that song and then like nothing happened after that for a good while. And then he came back and he dropped Superstar. And at first, y'all, I wasn't feeling Superstar. For some reason, I listened to that song a lot and like, I was just like, I don't know why I can't vibe with this song. And strangely enough, like one day I remember I was asleep and I left the TV on and like I was kind of waking up, but I heard Superstar in the background. And for some reason, it like clicked in my head and I was like, yo, this song is fucking great. And then all of a sudden, I was like, I really just listened to the song. I was like, yo, this song is fucking dope. I don't know what the fuck was wrong with me, but apparently I just had to sleep on the shit because once I woke up, I saw the light and I saw Superstar and I was like, yo, I gotta get cool. Definitely gotta get this album. And when it fucking dropped, oh Lord. I don't know how he did it. I don't know how he made a concept album out of one song off of another album, and he made this shit crazy fucking dope. I don't know how he did this shit, Lupe, but goddamn it, this is what makes you so goddamn great. And it has so many dope songs on here. Go Go Gadget Flow, Put You On Game, Hip Hop Saved My Life, Gotta Eat, which is like one of my favorite songs on there because I just love the way he rapped on there. He's like, he had a whole lot of cheese. Plus he was a Mac, had a whole lot of C's, made a lot of niggas fat, had a whole lot of G's, grams. Yeah, he had a whole lot of these. Like the metaphor he was able to incorporate like fast food with just like street life. Like I don't know how that's Lupe for you. He just does some crazy shit that's just like, you just gotta appreciate the shit because you know you can't just think of that shit like at the moment. Like I don't know how he came up with that shit, but like it's fucking crazy. But this album here, like I gotta say, I gotta put it like right next to Food and Liquor. I don't know how, I can't put one over the other because there's just so many qualities to both those albums. I can't like say I like one better than the other. God damn it, Lupe, how you do that shit? And as far as features went, he really didn't go outside of First and 15. He had Gemstones and Nicki Jean and Sarah Green. He had the Usual Suspects soundtrack was on the beats and whatnot. I think the only person outside of the camp he had was like Snoop. But like, and that was like a dope track right there. But other than that, he really showcased how First and 15 was like a serious motherfucker on not only just like creative wise, but just the roster that they fucking had. So yo, like if you never heard The Cool, first listen to Food and Liquor, then listen to The Cool because you will get The Cool more because you have to listen to the actual song The Cool before you can really process the whole concept of this fucking album. But listen to them both, and yo, Lupe, when he first came out the gate, he was on fucking fire. This shit actually went fucking gold. Should have went like triple platinum, but like, hey, I will take the gold plaque. That's cool. We know how the shit goes in the fucking music industry. But yo, The Cool, cool fucking album. It's actually better than cool. It's like fucking amazing. But listen to this shit for sure. And the last time I'm gonna talk about, y'all, is not the album that we should not name. It's called Lasers. But you know what happened with the whole Lasers shit. Lasers was Lasers. But you know what? I didn't cop that one because I was a little upset with the whole situation. But I came back and showed support because I got tricked with the okie doke of the title. But we came with all black. Boom. Food and Liquor Part 2. The Great American Rap Album Part 1. That name, just nigga, why? Doesn't matter. But this is the album that Lupe dropped in 2012, and it is the sequel to Food and Liquor. And as you can see, this shit's completely black. And it's not just the disc, the whole goddamn album packaging was just all black. The cover was black. The pages of the shit were black. The back of the case was black. You don't know what the fuck was going on with this album. You didn't know what songs it was on here, how many, who was on this shit, nothing. You just bought a black album, just not the Jay-Z one, just a straight pure black album, just hoping the fuck that some hot shit's up in there, because you don't know what the fuck that you gonna get out of this goddamn thing, because Lupe's trying to be funny and shit. But I did find out at the end of the album that if you open up the CD tray, all the information and credits is in there. He hid that shit in there, and he said at the end of the album after the fucking fact. But this is a very dope album, a huge step up from what he was doing over at Lasers. He kind of went back to form with this shit, and I mean, there's a lot of crazy tracks in there. There's Lamborghini Angels, Bitch Bad, Strange Fruition, Put 'Em Up, Hood Now. So it's a lot of dope songs on here, and even the hit song that he had, what was it called? Shit, I can't remember the name. Battle Scars. Yeah, Battle Scars. He had that shit on here too. So it was a dope album, had some dope cuts on here. It was a like I said, a step up from Lasers, but it's nowhere near as good as Food and Liquor 1. But I did enjoy this album, and I really like what he did on here. And I just like the whole all black, no, like, don't worry about the whole, I guess, marketing and whatnot. It's all about the music. I guess that's the symbol he was trying to go for, so I appreciate that shit. And on here, it's dope production on here. Lupe's spitting like he's supposed to be fucking spitting on here. Not that many features on here as well. He kind of kept it to himself. But he did have like Casey Benjamin and Pooh Bear and Jane Money or Jane Dollar Signs, I don't know. But and that nigga Bilal. I told you that nigga Bilal was on everything, and he was on this shit too. But yo, it's a dope fucking album. Definitely check it out if you haven't heard it. But like I said, you gotta listen to the first Food and Liquor to really get, you know, the Food and Liquor Part 2, the Great American Rap Album Part 1. I'm glad he stopped with that and didn't make another one or like the long ass title and shit. But yo, dope album. Not as dope as Food and Liquor 1, but still very dope. But yo, Lupe Fiasco in general has put out a lot of great albums, minus a Lasers are here too. But like, I mean, like I said, also check out his album Tetsuo and Youth, which is a dope, crazy album. I also, like I said, I reviewed the Pick Up the Phone track for his upcoming 3 retirement albums that we're supposed to fucking get. I don't know when, but we're supposed to get that shit. And Lupe's just a fucking dope MC, been around for many, many years, over a decade, still putting out great fucking work. And I mean, like, hey, we just got to see what he's going to do next, or if he's not going to do a goddamn thing. But that's going to do it for today's CD case studies, y'all. Hope you enjoyed me talking about some of my favorite albums from the very dope Lupe Fiasco. I've been a fan of his for many, many years, even before he blew up, and it's good to see the status he's risen to. And even though he sort of like fell off the radar, you know, he's not as prominent as he was, I mean, I really don't like look, as far as a commercial standpoint, as far as the talent and lyrical standpoint, he has not missed a beat. He's still cranking out quality work, and I just can't wait to see what he does next. I hope we get these 3 fucking albums that you said. It's almost, August is almost over. We ain't got shit, Lupe. September, we better get an album. Stop playing with us. Don't do this shit. I can't review 3 fucking albums in the same week. No, I can't do it. It's too much. You better space this shit out properly. Once a month at least. Don't fuck with me right now. Seriously, goddammit, I ain't playing around. Previous videos on the side, some fucking where, as well as my single. Check those out, show them some love. And as always, Twitter, Facebook, SoundCloud, Instagram. Links in the description below. And subscribe. Button on the screen, button below. CD case studies twice a week, as well as Willie reviews. Check that shit out. And the gaming channel. And if you're an indie artist or indie creator of any sorts and you want your shit spotlighted, hit that shit up and below. Info there. And I got nothing more to say. So until next time I take my leave, Granddad, Lupe Fiasco, the CD case study. The dude is fucking dope. And he's probably still trying to get whoever he's calling to pick up the fucking phone, but you need to just go ahead and finish them 3 albums. Fuck the phone, get in the studio, and finish them albums, nigga, because you only got a few months left. I swear to God, 2017 and we ain't got 3 albums, I'm going off. I'm out of here.